Hi, it's Derek and welcome back to Hitchcocks, where today we'll be looking at the Royal Enfield Meteor 350. This bike here is the Royal Enfield Meteor 700cc, and this bike was innovative at its time. The first thing that strikes me when I look at it is that it's got polychromatic copper beech paint, which predates the modern metallic paint that you would be aware of now. So that was a first for them. If I look at the yoke, this is just before the casquette started on the bullet. Looking at the bike from the handlebars, you can see that it's got a damper on the bars, and this bike was used a lot for motorcycle and sidecar, so that would have been quite a requirement for this bike. That too, with the brakes at the front, it's got a dual braking system, not to be confused with twin leading shoe. So this bike brakes on both sides. Again, if you're running a sidecar, it's something that you really would have needed. So a classic looking Royal Enfield 700 Meteor, which has the 700 twin engine. It's got the same bore and stroke per cylinder as the original 350 Bullet, which led a lot of people to think that it was two 350s joined together to make the 700, but it was a classically styled engine specific for this Meteor 700 bike. If I look at the engine and the gearbox on this, it looks very similar to Royal Enfield's as made through India right up till about 2007. You've got the separate engine, the separate gearbox, which is the Albion 4-speed box, and straight away that brings me to another piece of innovation. On here you've got the neutral gear selector that enabled the rider, when they arrived at a junction, to be able to just quickly with one push select neutral on the bike. That was designed, developed and patented by Royal Enfield and is unique to them, and was used on many of the bikes. If you've got one of the later Bullets, you would have had that with that engine or that style of engine. As I move through the back, you've got the cush rubbers that are in the back hub, and these were designed to take out the harshness and vibration in the bike, particularly under load or when braking heavily. And that innovation was used by a number of other manufacturers and continues to be used. In fact, it was even used by Brough Superior. So you know, some great stuff came out of the Enfield factory and continued to be used. If I look at the suspension on the back of the bike, this bike has what Royal Enfield called a chainstay, that we would know these days as a swinging arm, and again something else that continues to be used on modern bikes of the day. And almost as a nod to the new bike, the underneath the headlamp there's a little pilot light, and when we come onto the new bike you'll see that the new LED lighting is again an innovation in terms of light for the bike. So there you have it. That's the 700 Meteor. Predates the new one by 68 years, but still up to the job. We all ride it now and again, so without further ado, let's take a look at the 350. So here we are with the Meteor 350, very competitively priced in the marketplace, and from a styling point of view, fabulous to look at. So one of the first things to note are the LED lights, which are front and rear and feature this ring that runs round the lamp. That makes it very visible for people to see on the road, but also makes the bike look very distinctive as well. If we go down through the forks, you can see that the mudguards are finished in a gloss black, and so are the side panels and the rear mudguard. The only difference being the Stella, which is the mid-range bike, where these are colour coded to the tank. So, you know, all in all, a nice bike. This bike we're looking at is the Fireball, and you can see they've picked out some detailing on the rim with some rim tape that mirrors the colour of the motorcycle there. As we move up through the bike, one of the first things to look at is the switch gear. I think the switch gear is really intuitive. It's well made, it's quite solid to use, and the other thing that's nice are the levers. They're robust, they feel really nice on the hand, and all in all it's just got a quality feel about it on the front. Now everybody's got a mobile phone these days, so standard on this bike is a USB port to enable you to charge your mobile phone or anything else that uses a USB. But more importantly on this bike, it has a Tripper turn-by-turn system, which is powered by Google and allows you to navigate using the motorcycle, your mobile phone, and an app which is downloadable from the Royal Enfield website. What I particularly like about it is its simplicity. It enables you to key in up to 20 waypoints on the bike via your mobile phone in the app, and they will work even if you lose the signal. In terms of the direction, it uses an arrow, and as you approach the turn, as you're getting nearer to the turn, it builds with a series of bars that show you that you're approaching the point where you have to make the maneuver. As you reach the point of maneuver, it starts to flash. So if you are riding and you're not looking at it, you will get it in your peripheral vision, and that flashing tells you that you need to place a maneuver in there. Really fabulous piece of kit. You're seeing that now on the new Euro 5 Himalayan, and I think it's something you'll see start to happen on a lot of the bikes. So really nice the way that they've done that. The engine and gearbox are the UCE engine, so very similar to what you've been seeing in previous Royal Enfield bikes. What I particularly like about this one is it's got a crackle finish on the engine, the gearbox, on the exhaust and the silencer, which is quite a hard wearing, resilient finish, but it also contrasts well with the gloss finish of the mudguards. If you look at the cylinder head, you'll notice it's machined on the edges. I like that too because it picks up the chrome detailing on the bike around the rims and the shockers, the forks. It just brings the whole look of the bike together, which you know, it's really complementary, each of the treatments on this bike. It's got a lockable fuel cap, again in chrome, continuing that detailing. And the thing that is always mentioned to us by Royal Enfield owners are seats. And the seat from the factory is a superb seat on this bike. It's wide, it's contoured, and it's deep. It's extremely comfortable, and that continues through to the pillion seat for the passenger on the back. So straight out the factory, this bike is really comfortable to ride. It's got two handrails at the back, and these grab rails would give any pillion rider the confidence that it's a safe position to be in. But we listen, and Royal Enfield listen to what people say, and there are a variety of replacement seats for this, which we'll cover in another video. Coming on to the engine, I suppose the burning question is, what's the performance like compared to the old 500cc engine? This is an engine that's been designed on a completely new platform. It's got no components crossing over, specifically designed for this bike. It produces 20.2 brake horsepower. It's a 350 engine. It's a lovely package, so it's absolutely been designed for this bike. So even though it's a 350, it's more than capable of competing with the old 500. So if you've had a 500 before, you certainly won't feel like you've lost out by moving to this 350. The performance of it is absolutely superb. Power to weight, everything, it's just right. If you look at the line of the bike, it's got for me, it's got an American look, and that translates through to when you ride it. It's got a very laid back cruiser approach to it, and you find when you fit your feet on the pedals that they naturally sit at a nice angle. What's particularly nice about it is the gear lever is a heel and toe affair, so when you're actually sat on the bike, your foot naturally rests on that heel and toe. The brake is similar, it's slightly forward, So you're actually sat in this position. It's extremely comfortable, lovely bike to ride. It's effortless to go with it. So, you know, another nice piece of detail there on the bike. So all in all, the price point, the build quality, this is a bike that's guaranteed to be a winner. It is just such an attractive proposition for anybody entering into the bike market. So back to where we started really, it's at a fabulous price point. If you've owned a 500 before, you will not be disappointed by this 350 engine. And the thing I like about it, it comes with a whole host of accessories that are available for this bike now, which we'll cover off in a later video. But what's not to like about it?